Thank you. As I said, I'm Bruce Corrie, Dean of the College of Business and Organizational Leadership at Corrie University in St. Paul. It's about 15 years or so that I first met my first Liberian friend, Jenna Matthews, and today I believe she's graduating with a BA degree after working very hard and on multiple jobs in a day. And so she introduced me to one of my favorite foods is fufu and so she sent the recipe to my wife who cooks that for me often. But so what I do, I'm an economist, so I look at the condition of immigrants and minorities, and very often we focus on the deficit. We don't see what they contribute to the economy. And that's why a lot of us go about with our heads held down, because we believe what people seem to be telling us, that we are not active contributors to the local economy. So when I had a chance to do some data on Liberians, I have a little report that you can find it on our website too. It's called ethnictrends.info, and I gave a copy to the president. Liberians in the United States have a buying power close to $1 billion, which is almost double the GDP of Liberia in 2005. That's the magnitude. In Minnesota, the buying power is an estimated $157 million, which was almost as large as the Liberian budget in 2007-2008. So if you look in relative terms, it's in this economy where we are wanting people to spend money, you can see the significance of that number. Nationally, Liberians work very hard. They have very high labor participation rates, and I think 74% nationally and locally. And the interesting part is that most Liberians are concentrated in the health sector, as you know. And so I also estimate, a rough estimate, that Liberians pay an estimated $441 million in personal taxes, almost equal to the GDP of Liberia. This is a national number. In Minnesota, it's about $24 million. We know that entrepreneurial spirit of people in the community, and you can see it in, we don't have it for Liberia, but you can see in black entrepreneurship rates, which is growing very rapidly in Minnesota. I was surprised also pleasantly to see that exports to Liberia from the U.S. was $75 million. So somebody is getting rich in this country, right? And, Liberia is an important source of rubber import.
Yeah.
And you know that?
Yeah.
In Minnesota, exports to Liberia was $1.2 million. Not small change, but it's growing, and Minnesota was the 15th largest trading partner. And this trade between 2002 and 2007 rose over 1,000%. So I wanted to find out what would happen if the Liberian workers in Minnesota were to leave. So there's an economic model that you can do this impact. So just looking at the healthcare sector, suppose the 3,000 workers in the healthcare sector were to suddenly disappear. This would impact 7,000 other jobs, and would create an earning loss of over $300 million in Minnesota. So even nationally you can do this. You can find that because the community is so strong in a particular sector, the economic impact of even having a sudden March deadline or whatever would be quite drastic. And I wouldn't think that the U.S. economy would want another hit nationally or locally with this impact. And since I'm in the presence of important leaders like Congressman Paulson, who has a direct voice to Congress, what I'd like to say is, as America, I know, is going to focus on the Economic Recovery Act with Africa. And what you hear about Liberians and TPS could be looked at as the largest trade strategy with Liberia. Because a lot of people not only are adding to the economic wealth of Minnesota, but they're also building up Liberia by sending and supporting family. And that's the best development aid. I mean, it's the people who are actually building with the expertise in their countries. And so maybe a different way to look at this problem, the challenge of TPS and so on, is to frame it in terms of this economic relationship. Maybe there could be a special visa status for Liberians because of the Liberian-American, what I understand, the Liberian-American relationship is very unique. And maybe that could call for a special visa status where you could find a status to move into the country. So thank you for this opportunity.